Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin has shown volatility with an overall slightly downward trend in the forecast period. The RSI has fluctuated between 44.2 and 61.1, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. Considering the support price of $108,100 and the forecast, I recommend a cautious strategy focusing on potential rebounds. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $109,400. The stop loss will be set at $108,100, just below the established support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $113,900, aligning with the recent resistance level. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, which is currently around $106,500, it strengthens the oversold signal, providing further confirmation for entry. If the price reaches the upper band of the Bollinger Bands, which is around $118,600, it suggests a potential reversal. Therefore, if the price reaches $113,900, we will move the stop loss to the center of the Bollinger Bands, which is around $111,300. This dynamic stop loss will help protect profits as the price moves favorably. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach offers a balanced strategy to capitalize on potential price rebounds while mitigating risks. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a weakening trend. The price has been declining from September 22, 2025, and the forecast indicates further downward movement. The RSI consistently below 50, particularly dropping to 40.4 on September 22, suggests a bearish momentum. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has been approaching the lower band, further confirming the downtrend. Therefore, I recommend a short selling strategy. Enter a short position at $4,310, with a stop loss placed at $4,320 to protect against a potential rebound. The initial target price is $4,250, aiming to capitalize on the predicted decline. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 20, consider covering the short position as it indicates an oversold condition. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it also suggests a potential reversal, and a partial profit taking could be considered. For the forecast period, if the price reaches $3,940, close the entire position and secure the profits. This layered approach combines trend analysis with technical indicators to optimize risk-reward and adapt to changing market dynamics. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a downtrend. The RSI consistently dips below 60, indicating weakening momentum. The forecast predicts a continued decline, with prices falling to $2.8. Considering the support level at $2.76 and the forecast, I recommend a short selling strategy. Enter a short position at $2.95. Set a stop loss slightly above the upper Bollinger Band at $3.17 to protect against a potential reversal. The initial target price is the support level at $2.76, offering a potential profit of $0.19. To refine the strategy, incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the RSI falls below 40, indicating an oversold condition, consider tightening the stop loss to $3.04. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band at $2.8, it suggests further downside potential. In this case, adjust the target price to $2.7. This dynamic approach allows for capitalizing on the downtrend while mitigating risk and adapting to changing market conditions. This combined strategy offers a robust approach to potentially high returns in the current XRP market. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a clear uptrend, breaking through the resistance level of $1,000 to $40. The RSI consistently remains above 50, indicating bullish momentum, with peaks reaching over 80, suggesting potential overbought conditions but not a reversal signal yet. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding, confirming the increasing volatility and upward trend. Considering the forecast prices, which predict a continuous climb towards $1,070, a long position strategy is highly recommended. We will enter a long position at $1,020, placing a stop loss at $982, just below the established support level, to protect against potential pullbacks. Our initial target price will be $1,060, aligning with the forecast, offering a substantial profit. To maximize returns and manage risk, we will implement a dynamic target price strategy. Once the price reaches $1,060, we will move the stop loss to the recent swing low, around $982, securing profits while allowing for further upside. If the price continues to climb, we will adjust the target price incrementally, aiming for $1,070. This approach combines the initial RSI and Bollinger Band signals with the forecast data and support/resistance levels to create a high-probability, high-return investment strategy. The overall portfolio will be 70% long BNB and 30% in stable coins to reduce risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a mixed trend with periods of both upward and downward movement. The RSI consistently fluctuates above 50, indicating a generally bullish sentiment, but has recently dipped below 50, suggesting a potential pullback. The Bollinger Bands show the price recently touched the upper band, indicating a possible short-term correction. Considering the support price of $211, the forecast price for September 23, 2025, is $232, and the RSI is at 48.9, I recommend a long position entry at $232. Place a stop-loss order at $220 to limit potential losses. The initial target price is $247, aligning with the recent resistance level and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine this strategy, I'll incorporate RSI-based adjustments. If the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, consider adding to the position at $223. A subsequent stop-loss should be adjusted to $220. If the RSI reaches 75 or higher, indicating an overbought condition, consider taking partial profits at $240. This tiered approach allows for capitalizing on potential rebounds and mitigating risk. The final target price remains $247, providing a substantial return while acknowledging the possibility of further price appreciation. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a slight upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI fluctuates between 46.4 and 74.3, indicating both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have widened recently, suggesting increased volatility. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns. The initial entry point will be $0.263 on September 23, 2025, when the RSI is approaching the oversold level and the price is within the lower Bollinger Band. A stop-loss order will be placed at $0.242 to limit potential losses if the price reverses. The target price will be $0.282, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a reasonable profit margin. To refine this strategy, I will implement a layered approach based on RSI signals. If the price reaches $0.279, a partial profit will be taken, and the stop-loss will be adjusted to the entry price. If the price continues to rise towards $0.282, another partial profit will be secured, and the final stop-loss will be moved to the center of the Bollinger Bands, around $0.263. This layered approach allows for capturing profits at different price levels while minimizing risk. The support price of $0.211 will act as a secondary safety net, further protecting the investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON exhibits a slightly upward trend with price fluctuations within a defined range. The RSI consistently remains between 48 and 58, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the middle band, suggesting a period of consolidation. The support price is consistently at $0.335, while the resistance hovers around $0.345. Considering these factors, I propose a moderately bullish strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.341. The stop-loss will be set slightly below the support level at $0.33 to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be the resistance level at $0.345, aiming for a quick profit. To enhance the strategy, we will implement a trailing stop loss based on the lower Bollinger Band. If the price breaks below the lower band, which is at $0.322, we will exit the position. If the price reaches the initial target of $0.345, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $0.341 to secure profits and allow for potential further upside. If the forecast indicates a continued upward trend, we can consider raising the target price to $0.35. This combined approach, utilizing RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a downtrend. The RSI consistently fluctuates, but the recent dip to 42.8 indicates a potential oversold condition. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, suggesting a period of consolidation before a potential breakout. Given the forecast predicting a continued decline to $0.808, a short selling strategy is recommended. We will enter a short position at $0.859, placing a stop-loss order at $0.868 to protect against a sudden price reversal. The initial target price will be $0.832, aiming to capitalize on the predicted downward movement. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI remains below 20 for 2 consecutive days, we will consider covering the short position. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it could signal a potential bounce, prompting us to move the stop loss to the lower band level. If the price reaches $0.832, we will set a new target price at $0.808. This adaptive approach allows us to adjust to changing market conditions and maximize potential returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wrapped Beacon ETH shows a declining trend. The recent price action suggests a potential for further downside, supported by the forecast prices decreasing to $4,250. The RSI consistently below 80, with a recent dip to 40.6, indicates that the asset is not overbought. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has been fluctuating within the bands, but the recent downward trend suggests a potential breach of the lower band. Therefore, I recommend a short position. Entry price should be $4,640 with a stop loss at $4,850, just above the recent resistance level, and a target price of $4,490, aligning with the forecast price and the lower Bollinger Band. To refine the strategy, we can implement a layered approach. Initiate a short position at $4,640 with a tight stop loss at $4,850. If the price reaches $4,490, take partial profits and move the stop loss to break even. Continue holding the remaining position with a final target price of $4,250. This strategy combines the RSI signal, Bollinger Bands confirmation, and forecast data to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. This layered approach allows us to capitalize on the downward trend while protecting against unexpected reversals. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink exhibits a downward trend, with a recent price decline and projected further decrease. The RSI consistently shows values below 60, indicating a lack of strong bullish momentum. The forecast data suggests a continued downtrend, with prices potentially reaching $20.9. Combining these signals, I recommend a short position strategy. Enter a short position at $22.6, placing a stop-loss order at $25.3, just above the upper Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly reverses. The initial target price is $21.7, aligning with the forecast low for September 29, 2025. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI drops below 40, which it has recently done, it suggests an oversold condition, potentially indicating a short-term bounce. However, given the overall downward trend, I'd still maintain the short position. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, around $21.5, it could signal a potential rebound. In this case, consider moving the stop loss to break even at $22.6 and adjusting the target price to $20.9. This combined strategy aims to capitalize on the prevailing downtrend while mitigating risk and adapting to short-term fluctuations. Based on the historical data and forecast, Stellar shows a slight downtrend, with the forecast prices consistently below the recent closing prices. The RSI is fluctuating between 42.9 and 57.6, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the Bollinger Bands show that the price has been consistently near the upper band for the past few days, suggesting a potential pullback. Given this analysis, I recommend a short position strategy. The entry price should be $0.371, coinciding with the first forecast price. The stop loss should be set at $0.373, just above the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly rises. The target price for this short position will be $0.358, aligning with the forecast price and the support price. This strategy combines the bearish forecast with the technical indicator signals. The RSI is not in the oversold territory, so we are not relying on a strong reversal signal. Instead, we are capitalizing on the potential for a pullback from the upper Bollinger Band and the overall downward trend. This position will be managed actively, with the possibility of adjusting the stop loss based on price action and further technical analysis. Based on the historical data and forecast, Pendle exhibits a slight downward trend in the short term, with the forecast prices indicating a potential decline. The RSI values fluctuate around the mid-range, suggesting neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show contraction, indicating decreasing volatility. Considering these factors, a conservative strategy focusing on potential short-term bounces is advisable. We will implement a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands and the RSI is below 40, we will enter a long position at $4.65. We will set a stop loss at $4.55, just below the lower Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses. Our target price will be $4.95, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a reasonable profit margin. To optimize the portfolio, we will allocate 60% of the capital to this bounce strategy, and 40% to a simple support and resistance strategy. When the price touches the support price of $4.86, we will enter a long position. We will set a stop loss at $4.76, just below the support price, to limit potential losses. Our target price will be $5.16, aligning with the resistance price and a reasonable profit margin. This diversified approach balances the potential for short-term gains with a more stable, support-resistance play, aiming for a high return while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin has shown volatility with an overall slightly downward trend in the forecast period. The RSI has fluctuated between 44.2 and 61.1, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. Considering the support price of $108,100 and the forecast, I recommend a cautious strategy focusing on potential rebounds. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $109,400. The stop loss will be set at $108,100, just below the established support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $113,900, aligning with the recent resistance level. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, which is currently around $106,500, it strengthens the oversold signal, providing further confirmation for entry. If the price reaches the upper band of the Bollinger Bands, which is around $118,600, it suggests a potential reversal. Therefore, if the price reaches $113,900, we will move the stop loss to the center of the Bollinger Bands, which is around $111,300. This dynamic stop loss will help protect profits as the price moves favorably. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach offers a balanced strategy to capitalize on potential price rebounds while mitigating risks. Based on the historical data and forecast, NEXO shows a slight downward trend with the forecast prices consistently around $1.25. The RSI fluctuates between 41.2 and 57.9, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been relatively narrow, suggesting low volatility, but the price has occasionally touched the bottom band, indicating potential oversold conditions. Considering these factors, I recommend a cautious strategy focused on short-term opportunities. My proposed strategy involves a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 20 and the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, indicating an oversold condition. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $1.22, placing a stop-loss order at $1.20 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $1.28, near the resistance level and the center of the Bollinger Bands. If the price reaches $1.28, we will reevaluate the situation and consider moving the stop-loss to break even to protect profits. If the RSI continues to rise and approaches 80, we will consider taking partial profits and adjusting the strategy accordingly, but given the forecast of $1.25, I recommend a conservative approach. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ether.fi exhibits a generally upward trend with fluctuations. The support price consistently holds at $1.3, while the resistance fluctuates around $1.61. The RSI values hover between 56.7 and 72.4, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering this, I recommend a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Specifically, let's implement this strategy starting September 23, 2025. The forecast for September 23, 2025, shows a price of $1.49. The RSI on September 22, 2025, was 56.7, which is not oversold. However, if the price drops to $1.45 on September 29, 2025, and the RSI falls below 30, we enter a long position at $1.45. Place a stop-loss order at $1.43 to protect against unexpected downturns. Set a target price at $1.55, aiming to capitalize on the upward trend. This combined strategy leverages both momentum and volatility indicators to maximize potential returns while mitigating risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON exhibits a slightly upward trend with price fluctuations within a defined range. The RSI consistently remains between 48 and 58, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the middle band, suggesting a period of consolidation. The support price is consistently at $0.335, while the resistance hovers around $0.345. Considering these factors, I propose a moderately bullish strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.341. The stop-loss will be set slightly below the support level at $0.33 to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be the resistance level at $0.345, aiming for a quick profit. To enhance the strategy, we will implement a trailing stop-loss based on the lower Bollinger Band. If the price breaks below the lower band, which is at $0.322, we will exit the position. If the price reaches the initial target of $0.345, we will move the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.341 to secure profits and allow for potential further upside. If the forecast indicates a continued upward trend, we can consider raising the target price to $0.35. This combined approach, utilizing RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, PAX Gold exhibits a clear upward trend. The RSI consistently fluctuates above 60, indicating strong buying pressure, and recently touched overbought levels, suggesting a potential pullback but not a trend reversal. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, indicating increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I propose a long position strategy focused on capitalizing on the ongoing uptrend. We will enter a long position at $3,760, coinciding with the start of the forecast period. A stop-loss order will be placed at $3,690 to limit potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price will be $3,850, aligning with the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate a dynamic target adjustment based on the RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the RSI reaches 80 while the price is approaching $3,850, we will consider taking partial profits and moving the stop loss to the break-even point of $3,760. Subsequently, we will set a new target price at $3,900, leveraging the momentum indicated by the RSI and the forecast. This approach allows us to maximize profits while mitigating risks associated with potential overbought conditions and trend reversals. This strategy combines the strength of the trend, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands for a high probability, high reward investment opportunity. Based on the historical data and forecast, Avalanche exhibits an upward trend. The price has consistently moved above the support price of $31.8 and approached the resistance price of $35.2. The RSI values are generally above 50, indicating a bullish momentum. The forecast for the next week predicts a continued upward trajectory, with prices reaching $35.8. Considering the RSI and Bollinger Bands, I recommend a long position strategy. When the price dips towards the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, which is around $21.9 on September 22, 2025, enter a long position with an entry price of $22. Set a stop-loss order at $21.5 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price should be set at the resistance level of $35.2, aiming for a profit of $13.2. To maximize potential gains, I suggest a second entry point when the RSI reaches an oversold level below 20. If the RSI falls below 20, enter a long position at $22.5. Place a stop-loss order at $21.9. The second target price should be the forecasted peak of $35.8, aiming for a profit of $13.3. This combined strategy leverages both Bollinger Bands and RSI signals to capture the upward momentum of Avalanche, while effectively managing risk with strategically placed stop-loss orders. This portfolio will provide a high return with efficient risk management. Based on the historical data and forecast, Eigencloud, Eigenlayer, shows an overall upward trend with price fluctuations. The RSI consistently remains above 50, indicating bullish momentum, although it occasionally approaches oversold levels. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price swings. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. My recommended strategy involves a long position with an entry price of $1.75. The stop-loss should be set at $1.70, just below the support level of $1.76, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price is $1.86, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $1.86, we will move the stop-loss to the break-even point of $1.75. A secondary target price is $1.90, based on the recent resistance levels and the potential for a breakout. This strategy aims to capitalize on the upward trend while managing risk through strategic stop-loss placements. Based on the historical data and forecast, Sun token shows a clear upward trend. The price has been fluctuating within the range of 0.0248 to 0.0327, with recent days indicating a strong bullish momentum. The RSI consistently moved above 50, reaching a high of 81.4, suggesting the asset is overbought, but the subsequent price action has not indicated a significant reversal. The Bollinger Bands also support this view, with the price consistently above the middle band and the recent expansion of the bands indicating increased volatility and potential for further upward movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.0273. The stop-loss should be set at $0.0248, just below the support level, to protect against potential downside risks. The initial target price is $0.0332, aligning with the forecast price for September 29, 2025. As the price approaches this target, we will re-evaluate the RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the RSI remains above 70 and the price continues to trade above the upper Bollinger Band, we can consider extending the target price to $0.035. This strategy combines trend analysis, support and resistance levels, and technical indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. The portfolio is weighted 60% to the trend analysis, 20% to the RSI strategy, and 20% to the Bollinger Band strategy,